So before starting, uh, we moved the code, some of the code in the action and reducer, and some code we put in here, which I thought is necessary. But I could have moved this part also in the action and reducer, or I could have taken from the action and reducer and put all the code here in the chat.js. So it's this chat is very small application, so it's optional you put the things in the chat.js or in the reducer. But if the application grows, if there are a lot of things are tied to this chat.js, then it's compulsory you should put in the redux. But if the chat.js is becomes very small application, very few functionalities, then it's optional. You can put it in the redux or reducer, or you can put it in the chat.js. So a few things I will put in the chat.js and few things I will put in the redux reducer. And tomorrow, if I need something which can be used all over the application, then I will try to put that thing in the reducer. So let's say if something I put today in the chat.js and tomorrow I feel that thing is needed by all other modules or the main application in general, then I will put that code in the reducer and I can use it from the reducer, Redux. So I will put that code in the Redux and I can use it from the Redux. So some code I will put right now in the chat.js, some in the reducer, but later on, if I feel the code which I put in the chat.js is used by many other modules, then I will export it into the Redux so that I can use it everywhere. So let's move today to our whatever we did yesterday. So we are now able to now go and chat with different users. Let's say I have two users and you are getting some problem. Is that resolved or no? Yesterday you were getting some problem, right? That you were not able to see the users list.
It's working now.
Okay, maybe while copy pasting there is some code breaking, so it's okay. Now, now let's start move. So we did in the components, we did the chat.js. So right now I'm able to go from different users. So I can chat with this one or I can chat with this one. Let's try to move further. We have pending this messages. So I want to show the messages. So to show the messages, I will copy one of the function, that is the display chat messages, and I will copy that message and I will put it there to use this, because this function is, I will change few of the things in this function, but most of the things will be same. So first I'll copy it and then I'll change something. I'll copy display chat messages in my chat.js and then I will change something. So here it is a from UID. So I don't need from UID here. I can get the, I can call the localhost here and I can get the from UID here. So I will remove this and, or I will put this code, and this is the from UID. Let's put UID to UID up and from UID will be here. So I need only to UID, because from UID I can get it from the local storage. Okay, so this is the one change which I did. Now, if I'm chatting with web development, and then I'm chatting with Ambi, there will be two on created here, right? Because if I chat with first user, one reference dot on will be created, and then if I chat with another user, second reference dot on will be created. Is that correct or no? Because when I click this one, I will be calling this function, and I will be chatting with this. And then when I click this one, I will call this function again, and I will be chatting with this. So that means 2 times this function is called, and that means 2 times reference.on will be called. Is that true or wrong?
Sounds correct.
Right. Yeah. So that means 2 times this on is created. So what this on is doing, whenever a new message is coming on the server, it is pushing into the my records. So now what will happen when I am chatting with this web development and then I chat with Ambi, and if web development replies something to me, then there will be mismatch between the two, because I am chatting with Ambi, but web development replied with me because both reference.on is on. So that means whatever from the server we are getting from any of them will come to my screen and it will break my view. So what we have to do, we have to, when we are chatting with one person, we have to remove the old person. So if I'm chatting with the web development, I need to make this off for Ambi. And when I am chatting with Ambi, I need to make this off for web development, so that I should be able to get results for only one of the users. So what I will do, I will also pass here old UID. Initially, I will make it null. So if I get old UID, that is the person with whom I was chatting previously, I should make that off. Right now, I'm making this on, but I should make that off. So how to make that off? So here is my reference. And here I will say, if old UID is present, that means if old UID is passed, then I have to make this off. Make reference off. So how to make it off? I will create one old reference. I will call it as reference old equal to, and I will take this till this here. Now instead of 2UID, I will pass this old UID here. Okay, and then I will say reference old dot off. That means I don't want the results from this old UID. So when I change something from this to this, I will pass the old UID also. That is, that if initially I was chatting with this Ambi and then now I'm chatting with web development, so I will pass old UID as Ambi, so that I should make this interaction off. So I made this code to make it off. I will comment this and I will show you what is the problem with it if I'm not putting this code. Okay, right now I put, then when we will test it, I will show you what will happen if I don't put this code. And then everything goes into, and then it goes here and it sets the state, and the chat users is already called into the, okay, chat user. Let's see where exactly I call the chat users. Okay, get chat users. So in the component data mount, I already called a get chat user, so I don't need it again here. So I will delete this part, because this part is only required once when the page loads. We don't need it again and again. And since I'm putting this in the record state, I will check my state if I have that in the state. So I don't have anything in the state, so I will add this in the state. So I will put it here. Now let's go further. Let's see if it's done or we need to put any other thing. Okay, now everything seems to be correct. Now I will call this display chat message when the page loads. Okay, so that we can see that display messages. So I will copy this display chat message. So here I will put somewhere that display chat messages. So here I don't have 2UID because this component date mount comes when the page loads. So I will call this dot display chat message, and I will only pass the 2USER ID. I don't need old ID, because when page loads, I don't have old user ID. I have only one user ID, that is the 2USER ID. Now, if I refresh the page, Okay. Now, since I got this in the records, I need to pass this to the messages component. So here I will pass result equal to this dot state dot records. Let's see what is needed in the messages. If I need messages, so I need records actually, not the results. So I will say records equal to this dot state dot record. And if I open my message.js, it is empty because I did not put anything. And this message.js will be same as the old one. So we don't need to change anything except the path. Path will be 2 level up because we are putting inside modules inside the chat. So I put this message is same as what was there previously. I did not change anything in the messages.js, and I pass the records as this.state.records. Now if I reload the page, I get all the messages as it was coming previously. Now, so this is coming correctly. This is coming only on the page load, but when I change to web development, still the message is with this one because we need to change the user ID to user ID, and we need to load it with the to user ID. Right now, when I'm changing the user, it's not changing the messages. It's only changing the username. So before we move further, you have to add this thing. So first thing, you have to put the records null in the state. Just put this one. Okay. Now, next thing, you put this display chat message anywhere in your class. So I will give you in the chat. Okay. Now I will, in the component did mount, I will call this display chat message. So add this one. Okay. Now what we will do, or now change this one messages part where we pass the record to the next page. Okay. Now copy your old messages.js to the new messages.js and changing only one level more in this line. So copy your, get it from the messages.js, everything, and messages.css, and put it in the messages.css and messages.js. So make it same, because we will not be changing this part.
Can you say it again?
Copy the messages.js and messages.css from the components folder to messages.js and messages.css in the modules chat folder. So these two files are same. So just copy from here. Only change you will do in the messages.js is you have to make two level. In the old messages.js, we have only one level.
Okay.
And test it if you are getting correctly or it's not working properly. Check it. Okay, so now we are able to see the messages here. Now what we will do, when I am changing the user, I should change this messages display. Since this display chat message function is here in the chat.js, but when I change the user, it goes to the chat users page. So I will pass this function to the chat users page. So here is my chat users line component where I call chat users component. Here I will pass display chat message is equal to, I will call the function and I will pass that function to another page. I will say this dot display chat dot bind this. So I am passing this line of the code in the chat user. So I will give you whole chat users. You can update it with that one. Okay, so done. I don't see from Tony.
I get a red squiggly.
What did you get? Error?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what is the error. So Okay, sorry. The problem is, I got it. We need to put only one curly bracket. Sorry. So just remove second one.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's okay. Okay. So now since we pass this display chat message to the chat user, I can use this function there in the chat users also. So whenever I change the user, I call this function. And since I call this function here, I will, after e.prevent default, I will call my display chat message to, I will call this display chat message. So to call this display chat message, I will say this dot props dot display chat message, and here I will pass to UID. And since I'm changing the user, I also need to pass the old user, because I don't want to, I already explained you, when I am chatting with Ambi, I need to off this web development, or when I talk with web development, I need to off the Ambi. So I need to pass the old user ID also. So to get the old user ID, I will say var old ID, old UID is equal to, so old UID will be present in the this dot props dot to user ID. So it will be present here, because if we see the to props, let's see what is the props coming. I will put this props here, and we will see what the props is coming. So if you see in the props, I'm getting, so I'm not getting to user ID, right? I'm not getting to user ID here. It is in the chat reducer to user ID. So in the chat reducer to user ID, I'm getting. So let's change it to this dot props dot chat reducer dot to user ID, and I will pass this old ID here. So when I change the user, I will, in this part, we will be having to user ID as the old user ID, and then I pass this old user ID in the display chat message, and then I change the to user ID to the new to user ID. So this is the one which is a changed ID. This is the old user ID, because when I change the user, it is here, it is still the old user till we change it here. So in the old user ID, I will get the old user ID, and I pass the display chat message with the old UID. And then I change the user ID to the new user ID. So this is lines, these two lines of the code add in the chat users. It should be after e.prevent default. Okay, now we will test this functionality by changing the user. So if I put some message, okay, let it refresh. I will put some message. Okay, it's giving some problem. Let's see. Okay, send message is not there actually. That function is not there. So that's the reason it is giving error. So let's try to change this function, because I did not put the send message function. Let's try to change this user. So I call this web development. So I'm getting all web development part now. If I change to Ambi, I'm getting all chatting with Ambi. So now I am able to see the messages if I change the user because of this functionality. And in few minutes, I will show you what will happen if I don't put this old UID? If I don't put old UID, there will be mismatch of the messages, and you will see the mixing of the messages, which is not good. But right now, since we have not put the send message function, I cannot show you. After I put the send message, I will show you how to see this part. Okay, so now our this part is also done. Now what I will do, I will put the send message from here. So I have this send message function. I will copy whole send message. Right now, I want same thing, and then I will change it little bit afterwards. So I will update the send message from the old send message, from the old chat.js file. Now let's see if it is working. So if I say DDD, okay, some error is there. Cannot read the display name. Okay, so since I'm not calling my reducer, so this part of display name is giving the error. So what I will do, I will grab this local storage and I will put it here. Since logged in user is in the local storage, so I don't need it from the reducer. I will call this user object. So wherever I have this .props.my reducer, I will rename it with the user object, because user object consists of everything of the logged in user. So I will replace it. Okay, to user ID is not in the my reducer. It is in the chat reducer, as we saw here. So instead of my reducer, I will use chat reducer here, because to user ID is present in the chat reducer, not in the my reducer. And this is to user ID details is also not present in the my reducer. It is present in the chat reducer. Let's see what is the name for in the chat reducer. We have to user details. Okay, we have to user details. Still coming null. So we have to user details. We have to user details, and this is the UID which will be having in the user object. So I will rename this to UID, user object, and to user ID is in this one, chat reducer. I'll change it to chat reducer, and this is the my reducer display name, so that will be user object, and this one will also be user object. And then here user object. No, this is to user ID. To user ID comes in the chat reducer, and from user ID comes into the user object, and this is user object. This is user object, and this is user object. To user ID is in the chat reducer, and my reducer is this UID, user ID in the chat. Okay, this one is user object, because previously we were getting from the my reducer. Now I'm getting from the local storage, because logged in user information is in the local storage. I will give you this function. Let me test it out. Okay, so there is some problem, line number 87. Okay, let's Okay, let me see this part. Yeah, so I have the two user ID details here. So what I did, I took this object from the local storage. So anything which was related to me, the logged in user, I call this user object, that is this one. And anything which was related to the two user ID, I use a chat reducer or the chat reducer to user details. This is the two user details. Previously, we were saving in the my reducer only. Now we are changed to chat reducer. So I am changing everything to the chat reducer. Now let me see if I am able to submit it properly. Before that, I will just delete everything. I will delete this chat part. Okay, so let's refresh it. And I will press this. Okay, so there is still a problem. My reducer, I'm calling somewhere my reducer, which is not correct. I should have called chat reducer. Let's see where exactly is this one. This one is the where I need to call the chat reducer. Let's try again. I will delete it again. I deleted it. Now I'm able to see this web development, and now I'll change this to some different user. Okay, now I'm chatting with this and I'm able to see both. Now I will, from here, I will put it, refresh. Now there is a problem. We have invalid path null. User object dot uid. This dot props dot chat reducer. Something is not good. Okay, let's call this and then I will put it. Okay. Now if I change this to this one, let's try to change it. Now I'm able to communicate back and forth from both the users. So now I will give you the code for the send message. Here, I'll give in the chat. So you put this code and test it with a different browser.
Hello, do you guys hear me? when I open it up in Edge, Microsoft Edge,
Right.
I'm getting an error that I'm not getting on Chrome.
Okay. Let's see what you're getting.
I did this the last time we did this, and I was able to chat between the two, and I wasn't getting this message.
Okay. Let's see where is the problem. Formatted address of not defined. So right now, just maybe something is missing on the home page. In the results page, you have some problem, or we need to put some checksum. Just put the /chat in the URL. Just change it to /chat. We will see where exactly is the problem. Maybe we need to put some checksum that if formatted address is not there, don't show it. Okay. So right now, do it with chat page, and we will go back to home page again after some time. Okay, so you need to select the user from the left hand side. Okay.
The thing is, the thing too is that see, as soon as I click that, but it's also logging me in automatically. It doesn't let me select a different user.
So then log out. Okay, so then you have to log out from your Gmail, and then you have to sign out from here and try it again.
I've done that. It doesn't. If I sign out
and go to Gmail also. First go to Gmail and sign out from there also. Yeah, plus sign and go to Gmail and sign out from that also. Then it will allow you to access it.
No, it does. One.
Okay.
Because on my other one, I'm logged in as TW, a different user, I think.
Okay, let's try sign now. Click the user. No, don't type it. This one. Click user in the top and log in. Wait till it comes because we have to put some condition. Okay, let's see what is the problem. Object doesn't support this one. Maybe have you passed the display chat message in the chat users box? Show me your code. Okay, show me your code. Go to your chat user not here. First go there. Yeah, go down in the chat.js. Open the chat.js, go down. Yeah, wait. Now in the chat users, you have put, can you mouse over your chat.js so I can see where exactly are you calling from the components? Yeah, you're calling from components, whereas you have to put it in the module. So this display chat message, which is on 188, 187, 188 line number, this should be not in this file, it should be in the other file, which is in the modules chat.js. I think you are changing it here. This is in the components, and we are using now modules chat. Are you getting difference?
What do I need to change?
You put all the changes in the chat.js, and this chat.js is in the components. Okay. Where should it be changed? What is the correct path?
Right here.
Yeah, it should be here. but you were changing in the above one. Open the chat.js. Yeah, so here you don't have the new changes. You did only all changes in the old file. So what I will do, I will commit it and then you get it again. Okay, from my side. Did you got that problem? What is the problem? You realize it or no?
No, I realize.
Okay, so now
Can't I just copy from that other one over to here?
don't put copy because then it will be, because half changes you did there, half changes here, so it will be really mess up the things.
Okay.
What you do, you take all from my folder and delete your folder and get let me commit it. And then we will continue because otherwise your things will break. Okay, let's go here. Okay. Okay, now take a git pull and then take the changes from my side and try to put it in your folder and then we'll continue.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I have error 2. Okay, what error you have? Let's see. Let me see what error you get. Because you cannot, okay, go there. Go to the chat. Okay. Go to the chat page. Because we are in the middle of the thing, we did not completed it. If you go to the chat page and try to send message, you will get this error because you have to choose the user. And if you don't choose the user, you will get this message. We have to fix that one. It's not yet done. But since you don't have this user, that's the reason it's a problem. So after chat, put a slash sign in the URL. In the URL chat slash, in the URL, not here. You will get error now. Put in the URL chat slash, yeah, definitely you will get error because we cannot chat if you don't have selected the user. So we have to fix it. When user is not there, we will show error message. Are you there? Are you understanding what I'm saying? In the URL, put chat slash.
Who are you talking to?
Kate is not replying. She's saying, yeah, let's ask.
I got confused for a minute. I thought, are you still talking to me?
Okay. Kate said that she is getting error, but I'm not able to hear her. I cannot hear you, Kate. So I don't know. You need to connect it again or something. So problem with this, if I don't put the user ID in the URL, I have to show the error message here, which I have not done yet. And if I try to type now, I will get error. See, I am getting error because we cannot send the message without two user ID. We need the two user ID. So if I don't put two user ID in the URL, I will give some error message here that please log in or select the user to chat, something like that. So first I have to choose the user and then only I can type and send the message. So if you don't have this ID in the URL, that means you are in the wrong page, you cannot chat. So we will fix that in some moment. So now we are able to chat with this person and I am able to chat with this person also. I'm able to chat with this person also, and when I change it, I'm able to chat this person also. So this is how we chat it. Now, if I don't have user in the URL, Kate. Hello, Kate. Kate. Okay. So maybe you watch the recording if you cannot answer it now. So when I'm not putting any user in the URL, I should not show this chat box. I should show some error that please select the user to show the message. So what I will do, what we did in our chat.js, we checked it that if two user ID details is there, then we show it, and otherwise we show this message, right? So we will do same thing. So I will say here I am in this part, and here I will say if I have two user ID details, then I will put question mark, and then I will show here this part, and then I will put colon, and then I will create something. Let's say I use a div tag, or I will say here select user, and so if I have the user details, I show the chat box, otherwise I show the error. So now if I go here, I'm getting this error, select user, because I haven't selected any of the user. But if I select user, I'm able to chat it. But if I go to the chat page, I'm again will get the select user error. So select user, I will put some nice thing instead of select user. So if we make sure that your package.json should have React Bootstrap. So you have to make sure that this is present in your package.js, because we will be using one thing from the React Bootstrap. So if I go to the React Bootstrap document, I have this is the URL of the React Bootstrap examples. I will give in the chat. So one of this is alert basics, and this alert basics I will copy this part, alert part, and I will put it in my code. So I will put that here. And here I will say, please select the user before setting. And since I am calling this alert, I need to call this alert I have to import this alert. So to import it, I will say import curly bracket alert from React Bootstrap. Once I say alert from React Bootstrap, I will be able to get it here. So now if I go here, so it's saying please select the user before chatting. So this message is displayed and I can choose the user, then I can this. But when I do this part, I will see again display select the user before chatting. So this is how we display the error message. We don't allow user to send the message if they don't select this one. Okay, so now you have to do this part. So just go to chat.js, first add this statement. Then you have this text which start with the div tag chatting with. Before this text, just add this line of the code. Now, after this div tag, where the message ends, just add this line of the code, and then you can paste it. Okay. Now, is it working?
Yes.
Okay. I cannot hear Kate. Okay. Let's go ahead without Kate. Without Kate's voice.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. What happened
Okay.
to your voice?
Yeah. One of the computers have some problems.
Okay. So now let's try to move further, and we will do some sorting and filtering and pagination as we did in the home one. So we will try to copy some of the code from here and see how we can use it there. So sorting part, we did it. We are now able to now get it the latest message here in the top, and old message goes here bottom. So let's try to do now filtering and the pagination kind of thing. Okay, so let's say before pagination also I want to do, before filtering I need to do pagination. So for pagination I need this page number, and then so I will put this in the chat. Let's put the page number, and I also need this function when we change the page. So we need this function. This is the active page, which page we are on, this one. And then we will go here and we have distance. We have distance option. Okay, so this one is like sorting. So this is the pagination kind of part, which we need to use it, and we have to construct the pagination component like this. So let's build this one. So maybe I can copy this part. Okay, and let's put that in the display message one because we want to display it. So display chat message. So here is the pagination part. We need to put in this part. Okay, so first let me put this part first. So currently, let's say if I'm showing maximum of 5 records per page, and current page number will be this dot state dot page number -1, start row will be this, total row will be my array dot length, and total pages will be total rows upon max row. And I created another one, my array converted. That converted will be taking this my array, and it will slice it, and it will show start row maximum. And if I want to, instead of my array, I will take my array converted. Let's see if this is working. Okay, I am able to see only one message, not more than one. Okay, the reason is let's see, because we are using child added, and since child added is using my array, so we are not getting. So this is not the right place to add it. Let's remove this one. So we cannot use pagination here. So let's try to put pagination here in the display part. So in the render part, I will put this code. And instead of now showing my array here in the results, here, instead of showing this state.records, okay, so this state.records will be so instead of taking my array, I will take this state.records and I will put that here instead of records. Let's test out now. My array is not defined. So here also I will change this to this one. There's some error. Length is not there of null. So because initially it does not have kind of thing. So let's put it in the if condition. And I will create for my array converted is equal to empty one or an empty array. Let's see. It's not working properly. Okay. So this is not working properly. Let's try to change this to value instead of child1 and try to use this for loop. And now we will try this pagination. Now it's working, right? So if we want to build the pagination, either we need to use value and we have to use value so that pagination should work properly. And now I can move this part. I can move this part here. So instead of now taking this record, I will take my array and I'll take no, record should have everything, right? Record should have everything. So now here it is fine. This is fine here. Now I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 per record. I can change it to 3. Let's change it to 3 and 3. I'm getting 3 now. Let's try to add pagination now. And I use this paginator. And I will call this paginator here. I will give you the code. I am just because I need to experiment it before I give you the code. So I call paginator here. And then I will call the paginator like here, like this. So okay, so everything is going into the messages. So rather than putting it here, let's put in the messages. So here I will say this dot state dot records, which is the same, and I will put this part in the this one because that is where we are handling the messages. So let's open the messages file, and here where I am displaying the message. Okay, here I am displaying the message. After that, I can put this one. Okay, this one will go above here. And instead of taking the state, I will take records, prop records. So I put prop records here into the messages file. and here I will say props, and instead of taking props here, I'll take the my array converted, which is this one, and let's see. Okay, some error because we did not put the page number. We need to put this page number here, state. So I will grab it from the chat.js, put it here, delete all, only I'll put page number. I will also do this on active here rather than here. So here I don't need it. I don't need it here. And also only change I did it here is I removed the child added to value. And then what I will do here. This is same. Everything is same. Only I changed the value and I started with the for loop. And then I moved everything to messages one. Let's see now. Page number of null. On line number, cannot read the page number of null. Why it's saying cannot read the page number of null? Okay, now it's coming correctly. Now it's showing 3. I can change it to 5. I'm getting 5. Now I'll display the pagination. I'll take it from here and I'll put it here. And this props will come from, we have to pass the pagination props, which will be created like this. Okay, so I have total pages here. So this should go inside the if condition. And instead of constant, I will create this part as a variable. I will say var page props is equal to empty object. Okay, so now I got page. I can go to. Okay, I'm going to another page, but it's not displaying properly. So when I click, okay, let's make this as 2. Okay, so this is not working good. I need to see that one. So don't put it right now. I need to really drill it to see what exactly is the problem. So right now I will be only showing the same thing which I was showing. So we will do pagination on Monday. Let me see what changes I have to do in this one to make it work. It takes time for me to Okay, I got the problem. I got the problem. Okay, so now you can see the pagination is working fine because I am displaying only 2 rows per page. Okay, so if I add one, let's see, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I did, so this part is same what we did in the result container. We created these lines of the code to do the pagination. So once we get all the records, I don't need this if condition because we are checking the if condition here. So let's remove this if condition. So this one, I don't need this if condition. So this one will come only when we have records. So we don't need this line of the code also. I can say constant this one. So I don't need this line of the code. And I also need constant here. So I will explain you in a bit. Let me finish it off. Yes, I am able to. This is the first page where I have 3 seconds, 5 seconds, second page. And as we move, we get the different pagination. So for display purpose, I put only 2. So let's start with the first thing, how to do pagination. So first thing you will do is just make this as a value, and now even if I do the old one, let's see if it's working. I'm reverting all the things. Okay, let's try now. Okay, now it's working even with the child added. So don't change anything in the chat.js. Everything is working fine with the chat.js. Just go to the messages.js. First thing which you will add is this line of the code, paginator. I will show you the code and then I will explain you one by one. Okay, second thing which we have to do, we have to add this constructor for the page number movement of the page number. So add this constructor and on active page change function. So this same thing which we did in the home page. Okay, now what we have to do, now what is this line means? If I don't put this line, if I don't use this line, and if I try to use this one here instead of here like this, then what it's doing, it's actually splicing it. When splicing means it is deleting the rows from this records. Splicing, what a splice does, splice deletes the rows from the record. So if it deletes the record, we don't get pagination properly. So what we have to do, we have to create a copy of this variable. And to create the copy, if I use only this one, like this one, is this correct way to copy a object to another object? I want this one in the copy, means I want to create a clone of this one, but it should not affect the original one. It should only affect this new one. So is this a right way or wrong way? And if it is wrong way, why it's wrong way? Okay, I will tell you this tomorrow. I will just, because on Monday, today is too much now. So just put this code and then we will discuss this code on Monday again. So just put this part of the code after the if condition. Put this part of the code like this. And we will discuss this again on Monday. I will explain you what is this mean, and if I don't use this, what will happen. Okay, and then last thing will be at this part and test out the page. We will talk more about this line of the code on Monday, because the rest other thing is same as we did in the home page. Only now change this from max rows from 2 to maybe 15 or 25, so that we should be able to see pagination after 15 rows. So right now I want to show 15, and after 15 I can show this one pagination. So let's add few messages so that it should go above 15. Then I see page number 2, or I can put 10 messages per page or 100. It depends on how much I want. So now I can see 3 pages. So it depends on how many pages you want, how many records you want per page. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I can put 5, so that I can, after 5, I can move into the next page. So this way I am on the same screen. I don't want to scroll bottom. I can see different page. So it depends on how much you want to display on the first page, and you want to change. Right now I put 5. Later on I will change it to 25 or 100 or 5, something like that.
Can you show where the paginator code is? That last thing you put.
Yeah, this one. After curly bracket is over, before the div tag.
delete something. Okay, that just, yeah, I was putting it in the wrong place. I get a failed to compile, line 19, page number is not defined.
Okay. See if you can fix, otherwise I'll help you.
Page 19, render. I can't find it.
Okay, let me fix it for you, and then we will move tomorrow on Monday. So what is the error you're getting? So it's the chat.js page number. Go to chat.js, not this one, chat.js. Search for page number. Search for page number. Is there anything? Yeah, search for page number. So just remove this line of the code. Yeah, save it. Do you have any other? Just search again. No results. Okay. Now go there. On line number 19. Okay, you did it. That's right. So it should work now. Yeah, but pagination is working. Let's see. Yeah, pagination is there. It's not moving, right?
No.
Okay, let's go to your messages.js file. Okay, let me see. Go down. 1 second. Go up. Go up. Why you put this here before the return? Okay. Yeah, right. It's correct. Go down. So when you show the line number 49, instead of this dot props dot records, yeah, you have to change it to the variable which is defined above. Go up, let's see what is the variable name. Yeah, line number 31, the variable is my array converted. So take that variable, my array converted, and put it here. Yeah, copy this one. For get also, you do this one. Put it on the line 49. Remove the this also. No, no, don't remove map. This dot props dot records. Yeah, put it there. Save it. Now go there. Okay, go down. Let's see.
It didn't feel like it refreshed.
It might have refreshed automatically.
There it goes.
You have saved it. Okay,
So yeah, now it's working.
right. Yeah, now change from 2 number to maybe 5 or 10 per page. So right now line number 26 changes to 5 or 10 or something like that. Yeah. Why it's not auto refreshing it? Maybe you refresh it manually.